kind of like this place. Folks were standing everywhere. And Jesus came and went inside. And while he was inside, everything filled on the outside. There may be some folks standing outside right now, but anyway. And while they were standing there, listening and looking at Jesus, see this book, the story goes on to say that Jesus already came with the power to heal. So Jesus came with the power to heal. And when he got there, he began to provide a condition, a situation, an experience for people. And then all of a sudden, 4 people appeared on the scene, carrying a paralytic on a blanket, on a piece of cloth that held him up or her up. And they walked up and they said, "We can't get in." They said, "Excuse us." No, you can't. No, Jesus is here today. And so here they are, gathered around the house. And they don't know what to do. See, our problem as people is that once we make plans to do something, we want to stick to the plan. Our plan is we got to get in, and if we had thought we were going to walk through through the door, but since we can't do that, we'll just ask, and they will let us. No, they didn't let them in. These folks knew what spontaneity was. And all of a sudden one said, "Look, we can't get in. Our plan, let's go up on top. Let's go on the roof." See, you got to know what it's like to climb sometimes. Don't stay down where you are because your plan told you to stay there. Begin to spin your heart and your head and your life and know that the Spirit moves you if you let the Spirit, and it may tell you to go up to the roof and get on top and come through the roof. And so the story goes. They went up on the roof, and it's a wonder if they didn't fall through, because roofs were not that intact. Of course, they could come on mine and probably go through. But anyway, so all of a sudden, they opened up the roof and began to come down. And Jesus looks up. And as Jesus looks up, here's what I didn't tell you in the last story that I told you of this episode. Jesus looked up and said, "Your sins are forgiven." Your sins are, let's talk about that for a minute. Your sins are forgiven. See, what the people did is after that, they began to turn around and look at each other. These smart alecks, where did he get the strength and the power to forgive folks? How did he come about that power? Only God can forgive. And Jesus heard them, and he said, "Well, what do you want me to say? Your sins are forgiven. Get up your bed and walk." And before they could answer, they sitting up there standing looking at each other, staring at each other's face. All of a sudden, Jesus said, "Your sins are forgiven. Get up and walk." And the man got up and picked up the blanket and looked at it, threw it down, picked it up again, and stomped it and said, "I'm going on." Jesus said, "Go on. You are now healed. You are now healed." Now, if you know your sins are forgiven, you can give up your past. Ain't nobody holding you to your past no more but you. And if others try to hold you to it, just tell them, "I know something I never knew before in my life. I don't have to live my past anymore. It is yours, not mine." Give it to them. Wait a minute, you didn't hear me. Give it to them. Give it back. Tell them you lived it. And everybody worked out the best they could. Tell them that Jesus forgave you of your past. Tell them that Moses and Jeremiah and Abraham and Jacob forgave them of the past. Prophets, so they would know that they were free and they went on an exodus so they wouldn't stay in the same old place. Tell them that your grandfather and your grandmother entered into your past, and they whispered to you Don't let them get you down. Keep on going. Tell them. Tell them. Tell them.